Hello, and welcome back to the Choose UCalgary Podcast. As always, I'm your Season 8 host, Karah, and today we're sitting down with Manmohit, an international student from India, to hear about his experiences as a first-year engineering student. Keep listening to learn more. Welcome to the Choose UCalgary Podcast. If you just want to start out by introducing yourself, so tell us your name, where you're from, and then what program you're completing at the University of Calgary.
Okay, so hi everyone, I'm Manmohit Singh. I belong to Chandigarh, a city located in northern India, and currently I'm a first year engineering student at Schulich School of Engineering at University of Calgary.
Nice. So as an engineering student, I know that they have to do a kind of a general first year. Are you enjoying getting like a broad sense of engineering? Do you have a specific concentration in mind that you want to go into next year?
Yeah, so I want to go to software engineering, but first up I consider the first year as a transition year,
Yep.
where I can get adjusted to all the environment of how to approach a specific course or how to manage my schedule, time management, all that.
Yep.
And other than that, like as you mentioned, like all the courses, like they gave a certain hint of all the majors. So out of all of them, I'm more interested in software engineering.
Yep.
Yep. Because throughout my high school journey, I've been involved in coding and all that.
Yeah. Because it's kind of like a nice blend of like computer science, software engineering, coding. Like it's very cool kind of like concentration in engineering that we've got.
Yes.
Yeah. That one's definitely I think that one's getting a little bit more popular as the years kind of like go on. I've noticed more students are like very interested in going into like either computer science or software engineering.
Yes, I think maybe because after COVID, everything is transitioning to online stuff. So
Yeah.
maybe because of that.
Yeah, very, very much like we're moving into the technology realm right now.
Yeah.
And then what factors influenced your decision to choose UCalgary for your studies? So was there any specific aspects of the university that stood out to you during your decision-making process about the city, about the school, about the country, anything like that?
Yep. So the first reason was that University of Calgary is the entrepreneurial university of Canada, and throughout my high school journey, I've been involved in different entrepreneurial-related activities. I've participated in various national and international competitions related to that.
Oh, wow.
And rather, I was the first one to start an entrepreneurial club in my school, named as Unicorn Valley Club.
Wow.
And the moment I read that over here, like entrepreneurship is promoting something, so
Yep.
I was like, I have to go to UFC.
Yep.
And the second reason was, according to my research, the faculty to student ratio was much better over here as compared to other institutes. Like for instance, we have TAs or teaching assistants
Yep.
in most of our labs and lectures. Like it's easy to ask them questions because they're basically the senior students.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the third reason was I did my grade 12 from here itself, from Chestermere High School.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And like it was easy to me to commute from there to UFC because it's in the same city kind of.
Yeah.
And so these were the basic three reasons.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's definitely a big one. I know like the faculty to student ratio is really nice because, you know, like you said, like you can talk to the TAs instead of having to talk directly to the professor.
Yes.
Feels like there's always somebody to ask a question to, you know, especially I'm guessing in engineering because there's a lot of students in the engineering program.
Moreover, like they actually understand how a student is feeling in the lecture, no?
Yes.
So, because they're also studying, and so they can answer that in a much better way. So.
Yeah, definitely. And then can you share some of your first impressions at the University of Calgary? So you said that you did grade 12 in Chestermere. So was there anything that surprised you about kind of moving from high school into the university? Anything surprising about just the University of Calgary in general, whether it comes to buildings, professors, anything like that?
So the very first day when I came to UFC, it was the orientation day.
Yep.
And I still remember I was on call with my mom and dad, and the first word that came out of my mouth was wow. Because if you look at the campus, it's too beautiful. I was mesmerized by the buildings and everything. And honestly, I also felt a bit proud of myself, like because see, I'm working hard throughout like at least 12 years if I count from school, no, for coming to university, pursuing my bachelor's. And other than that, in the Schulich School of Engineering, we have the makerspace now.
Yes.
Where there are a lot of 3D printers, and
Yep.
basically you can turn any of your ideas into reality. I was too fascinated with that. Basically, I felt like that's heaven for me because you can create anything over there.
Yep.
And all these things, like still till today, like I'm too fascinated by them and amazed, and thankful to God that I'm a part of UFC.
Yeah, you're right. Like the makerspaces are so cool, and it's so nice that like they have all these like really technologically advanced spaces just
Yep.
for students to go and kind of like explore a little bit.
Yes.
Right? Like it's not particularly for a class, it's not particularly for any specific student. Like it's just to go show up and learn something new.
Yes.
Like I really like the makerspaces as well. Yeah. And then, are there any academic experiences that you can kind of talk about with the University of Calgary? So, any specific courses, professors, academic resources that you feel have really helped your journey? I know you're in your first year, so you've probably started to get to know them a little bit.
Yes.
Were there any like classes that really stood out to you, professors that you really love, anything like that?
So I would say like I love and like all the professors because what I believe is like it depends on the student how well are they able to connect with the professors
Mm-hmm.
because they are already experts in their fields.
Yep.
And other than that, like as I mentioned, the TAs, the teaching assistants, they are a
Mm-hmm.
great source of help.
Yep.
And then we also have PASS, the peer assisted study programs.
Yes. Yeah.
Like you can, they are again basically students
Mm-hmm.
and like senior students. You can go to them, ask them for help.
Yep.
And then we also have one-on-one free tutoring,
Yep.
also available for like over there. Also we have senior students.
Mm-hmm.
They also help you how to manage your schedule and how like clear all of your doubts.
Yep.
And other than that, I mean, like slowly I'm like transitioning to how to get used to the academics of university.
Yeah.
And everything is all good.
Yeah, it's really nice that I think it's really nice that, especially with engineering, that it's like that common first years. So
Yes.
all the engineering students have experience in those classes.
Yep.
So like you said, like those past classes, and just like the student tutoring and like all that kind of stuff, it can be really helpful, especially because you know that every single engineering student took the classes that you're taking right now.
Yes, and moreover, like one thing I realized after coming to UFC is that you should never ever hesitate because
Yep.
that's always like that will never ever help.
Yep.
Always be ready to ask for help and always be ready to learn something new.
Yep.
So,
Always ask questions if you have any questions.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely learned that too in my first couple of years was just ask the questions because
Yep.
it's going to help you so much more than just staying quiet,
yes.
you know? And then what aspects of campus life do you enjoy the most? So, are you a part of any clubs, organizations? Have you taken place in any events, volunteering opportunities that have helped to kind of enrich your overall university experience outside of classes?
Yeah, so first up, like I'm volunteering at the Prospective Student Hub,
Mm-hmm.
and like that's a great opportunity as a greater role. You know, I get an opportunity to talk with new people and all that.
Yep.
And secondly, I'm part of engineering leadership program, which is actually a professional course provided by University of Calgary to the engineering students,
Mm-hmm.
where I'm learning about leadership styles and skills and how to be an effective and efficient leader in the society as well as in the
Oh, wow.
workplace.
Yeah.
And other than that, I'm part of some clubs, but I'm not actively participating in that because I'm
mhm.
still transitioning. And
Yep.
and other than that, I do also volunteer at YMCA. Like it's not
Oh,
part
really?
of University of Calgary,
Yep.
but it's over there. I'm also working as a customer experience, you can say.
Mm-hmm.
And then talking about events, I've participated in some hackathons.
Yep.
Like on my own. Like in that, I just have to represent the university on my own behalf.
Mm-hmm.
And yep, that's it. Like that's all the aspects I
Yep.
like most about it.
So you're really kind of getting out there, getting the experiences. It's nice that you're doing some stuff off campus too.
Yes.
It's nice sometimes to just get away from campus and do some stuff in just like the Calgary area.
Yep.
But also like even if you're not actively participating in clubs, like just knowing that like it's there if they do an event or host anything or like have a meeting that you can make, you know, that you can just kind of like drop in. And there's so many clubs to choose from. Oh my gosh. So it's definitely nice to have those. I always like to think that those extra options are really what make university kind of like an interesting experience as
Yes.
opposed to high school.
Yep.
Because it gets you out there and it kind of gets you into the real world slowly.
Yep.
And those kind of extra things that you can add on are the things that actually enrich your experience a lot.
Yep.
Like the classes, they're going to teach you really well and they're going to help you get to your degree, but then it's those extra things that you add in that make it super special.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Do you want to stay in the loop on all things UCalgary? Make sure to join our email list so you don't miss key updates, events, and insider info to help you start your journey to becoming a UCalgary Dino. Register at the link in our show notes. And then, how has the University of Calgary supported you as an international student? So with that kind of like transition, you did have a year at Chestermere High School. So there was that kind of transition period as well. But was there anything that you kind of reached out to, so resources or any help that you got just transitioning to university in general?
I would say like I took help from the CCPD, the Center for Career and Personal Development.
Yeah.
Like they helped me a lot in setting up my resume and
Mm-hmm.
how to reach out to employers.
Yeah.
And like I think that's one of the most important thing, because after getting my bachelor's, I'm obviously going to the field and
Yeah.
applying for jobs and all that. And other than that, I also feel like the resource is the Elevate, the website. Like
Yep.
it's all in one website where
Yep.
you can apply for jobs and like look at different sources. So yeah, these are the two. And other than that, like they have sin number workshops and everything where they
Yes.
help for that.
Yep.
And like they all were very helpful in that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's nice to know that like you said, you can't hesitate. Like if you need help with anything, there's
Yep.
going to be a resource. You just have to go and find it.
Yes.
Yeah, and like the Center for Career and Personal Development is really, really helpful for finding that like additional resume support, interview prep, all that kind of stuff that, you know, you can figure out on your own, but it's
Yep.
kind of helpful to get a little bit of support.
Yes, and other than that, all those career fairs are also very helpful. Like you can
Yep.
go and talk with the employers face to face, and like that's also a good experience because that's basically networking.
Yeah, I was going to
And-
say networking.
Yep, and like I heard somewhere that your network is actually your net worth. So that's actually what you can do over here. At
Okay,
PhD.
I haven't heard that one before, but maybe
Yep.
maybe I should remember that one. Got to get out there and network a little bit. Yeah, those events are really nice because they're open to any student. So it's like
Yes.
just go network, talk to these companies, figure out what they're offering. Like yeah, all those things in and around Calgary. And then, are you able to share some of your favorite spots on the University of Calgary campus or just in Calgary as a city? So I know you said you volunteer at the YMCA. Is there anywhere else in Calgary that you really like? So study spaces, recreational areas, or just spots that you hang out with friends a lot?
So at University of Calgary, first up, I like the study spaces in Schultz School of Engineering, like the ones which are near to the windows, no?
Yep.
Because it's good, like you can have look outside, like it's beautiful view and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I also go to the library sometimes, but I usually like to study in a moderate environment, not
Yep.
in too silence or something.
Yeah.
And then the active living, the gyms and all that, those are excellent.
Yep.
I usually go there. And apart from University of Calgary, in the city, I like mostly all the shores of the Bow River. Like they're excellent. I mean, it's too peaceful over there. You can like just experience the environment
Yep.
and everything.
Yeah.
And yep, these are the only places. And yeah, the makerspace again as a recreation space. So
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah, no, the Bow River is just gorgeous, and like walking along the pathways
Yes.
at any point in the year,
Yep.
it's just so nice to kind of like you said, it's very tranquil, it's very quiet.
Yep.
Even though like sometimes you're right beside downtown, it doesn't feel like it.
Yep.
It's not super loud. It's just kind of like nice and tranquil, nature.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
definitely understand that. And then, are there any challenges that you faced during your time at UCalgary? I know you've only been a student, you're just in your first year, so you've only been a student for, a few months here, but how have you overcome them? So have you learned from them? Have you grown from them? Just anything like that. Any advice that you can give to potentially incoming students at all?
So I think I didn't face any like specific difficulty or something, but yeah, like as I mentioned, this is a transition year. You
Yeah.
learn, you fail, and everything.
Yeah.
So I think it was mostly related to academics, like because in high school we're used to staying with the information that's shared in the class,
Yep.
but over here you have to research on your own as well, try to understand the concept. And that's the only thing, and I overcome that with the help of all the resources like the pass and like the tutoring and
Yeah.
the TAs and talking with the instructors.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the advice is do not hesitate and try to explore your potential also
Yeah.
side by side, because that's very important. And yep, don't be afraid of failures and go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, don't be afraid to fall because for the most part, it's pretty doable to get back up,
Yes.
right? Like if a class doesn't go well or a test doesn't go well, it's always easy or it's easier to kind of like recover from that in your like classes afterwards.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then last question here, as you look ahead, so into the future, I know you're only in your first year, but I mean, you already know you want to go into software engineering. Is there anything that you're thinking about after university? So potentially going on to do a master's, anything like that you're kind of thinking of?
So yeah, I'm thinking of masters and also thinking of a PhD because
Oh, wow.
my mom is already a doctorate, so I'm thinking of going for a PhD thing.
Yep.
Because I'm already involved in a lot of research projects. I have also a research paper already published.
Yep.
So I want to go to PhD rather. And Yep, that's the only future plan I have as of now.
Definitely. Yeah. Do you know, like, are you thinking of maybe staying in Calgary for that master's and PhD, maybe going out of province, out of country, anything like that?
So at present, I'm thinking of staying in Calgary,
Mm-hmm.
but we'll see what life has for me in the future.
Exactly.
Yep.
You never know what's going to happen.
Yep.
You never know what life's going to throw at you, but it's good to know that you kind of have like a plan in place.
Yes.
So thank you so much for coming on the Choose UCalgary podcast today. I'm sure students always love hearing from other students about their experiences and just kind of a little bit more of an insider's perspective on UCalgary. So thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Choose UCalgary podcast. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at choose.ucalgary and on Facebook at the University of Calgary Future Students. As always, DM us if you have any questions.